Welcome to Arlington Public News. I'm Carla Dorado.
And I'm Brenda Mahoney. Thanks for joining us. In this edition of APN, town leaders celebrate life in the fast lane as they roll out the new bus rapid transit pilot. We'll tell you how the buses are faring along Mass Ave.
There's been so much effort that I'm aware of to bring more public art into Arlington.
And the town's new rapid bus trial is brought to you in living color as artists celebrate the new bus lanes by converting the ordinary bus shelter into a festive canvas.
And you can film your own horror show just in time for a Halloween night premiere with a little help from ACMI. And there's no need for experience, just a frightful passion.
That and more next. Stay with us.
The town of Arlington aims to put more rush into the rush hour with its Bus Rapid Transit Pilot, or BRT. It's a program aimed at improving bus travel time and traffic flow along Massachusetts Avenue. The program was rolled out earlier this month, but town leaders, officials from Cambridge, Boston's Bar Foundation, and the MBTA celebrated along the proposed bus lane this week. Stephanie Wittenbach says if the pilot works out, bus riders just may get to their destinations with time to spare in the very near future.
Arlington is the latest municipality to test the BRT plan. Officials from Arlington, the Bar Foundation, and the MBTA celebrated the pilot program along the bus route this week.
My colleagues and I have been really pleased, I think, to support this and to see this type of innovation. I mean, this is the way that public policy should be made.
Town officials say nearly 20% of the people in Arlington commute by bus, which adds up to nearly 8,000 riders a day, getting from point A to point B. Town officials say with this pilot program, Arlington is taking the lead in a road less taken.
And we've seen transformation where, a lot of towns and cities have tilted towards an emphasis on automotive travel. We're trying to tip the balance just a little bit back here.
The BRT runs weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. heading east on Mass Avenue towards Cambridge. The planned bus route starts at the intersection of Lake Street and Mass Avenue with a new bus stop near Chandler Street. This crossway and the intersection at Alewife Brook Parkway have changed the usual right turn lane into a combination bus lane. Drivers can still turn right while buses can get a jump on the usual gridlock. You'll also find a combination bus and bike lane stretching from Varnum Street to Alewife Brook Parkway. Transit signal priority at 4 key intersections will give buses more green light time, which hopefully improves overall traffic flow.
This is public policy done right. This is us trying something to make people's lives better, seeing if it works, and if it works, seeing how we can make it more permanent. So I think this is really an amazing day.
In the short time the pilot's been rolling, town leaders say some tweaks need to be made. But that's to be expected in one of the top 15 ridership routes in the entire MBTA bus system.
Normally, I'm down here every morning dropping off my kids at the daycare about a block away, so I have at least day by day anecdotal familiarity with the queue, and it seems like this has been a success in its first week, and we'll continue to monitor it. We are checking metrics in bus travel times, and we'll measure all of that at the end of the pilot. But so far, it seems like this is working very well.
And most of the riders we talked to seem to see a difference in their travel time.
I guess yes, I think so. Yeah, it's like 10 minutes. It cut off like 10 minutes from my commute.
The BRT pilot will run every weekday morning through November 9th. I'm Stephanie Wittenbach, Arlington Public News.
Arlington is the latest municipality to test the BRT plan, which town officials hope will make the arrival time more reliable for the 77, 79, and 350 buses. Now, later in this newscast, we'll show you how Arlington celebrates the pilot program by lining the streets with color. That's coming up in a few minutes. As promised, architects are looking at ways to keep the classic feel of Arlington's public high school. HMFH architects revealed facade options that would use the columns prominently featured in the front of the school. 4 different facade concepts shown to the building committee October 16th would keep the columns or reuse them in other parts of the building. There's been a push to save the columns and front lawn of the high school since the building committee decided to tear down the school and start fresh. Building Committee Communications Chair Amy Spear tells APN they're working with the feedback received at a community forum in September, deciding to move the auditorium farther away from Mass Ave, setting it 80 feet back instead of the original 20. Spear says in light of the new architectural options, they will hold off on the next community forum that was scheduled for October 24th, preferring to further refine plans before presenting them to the public for input. The next meeting will now be held on Tuesday, November 27th at 7 o'clock at Town Hall. In the meantime, the public can attend the committee's bi-weekly meetings. You can find the schedule at ahsbuilding.org.
Striking the perfect balance of housing options while encouraging business growth in Arlington Heights was on the minds of about 40 people who attended this month's public forum at Ottoson Middle School. The goal is to bring more business to an area roughly stretching from the Lexington border to Myrack Chevrolet, and to occupy some empty commercial spaces currently available for business growth. Residents got a chance to voice new ideas for housing, retail stores, transportation, and parking, kind of like a Monopoly game with a true vision. Unlike other parts of Arlington, Massachusetts Avenue is narrower in the Heights, and Arlington's Department of Planning and Community Development aims to keep it that way. With a $30,000 grant from the Metropolitan Area Planning Council, Arlington residents got to share their ideas for the future of this quaint community.
It's, one of the bigger sites in Arlington Heights. It's pretty underutilized, and one of our recommendations is to give this kind of a special zoning, or I should say one of our draft recommendations is to give this a special zoning, which is called a planned unit development, which means that we can make specific recommendations for what might happen here. If and when things change. So it's a really cool opportunity for people to offer input, because normally, as Cynthia was saying, we can change the regulations so that there's less hurdles to the things that people want to see, like a restaurant. But here we can specifically make recommendations that, if everybody comes in and says, we want this to be, the most beautiful open space that you've ever seen along Mill Brook, and that is our #1 priority here, then we can work that, and that'll inform our recommendations. If people say we just need more people to come populate our businesses to support the restaurant that we want to see happen, then we'll know, okay, well, residential is a priority.
This has been identified in several studies as a key parcel for this area. There is no development proposed at this time, and this is just theoretical. It's a large parcel. It presents a wonderful opportunity if developed for Arlington Heights and for the town, and we're just trying to see what people would like to see there. Housing, a mix of uses.
Town leaders hope to have some new proposals for the Heights before the annual town meeting set for next spring. If all goes as planned, the Heights Business District's first zoning overhaul in nearly a half-century could come in the summer of 2019.
Town officials are proud to announce 2 new hires serving Arlington. First, Phyllis Marshall began her new job last month as the new town treasurer. She will bring more than 30 years of supervisory experience in the day-to-day management of the town treasurer's office. Ms. Marshall's duties will include the disbursement, investment, and borrowing of monies, preparation of fiscal reports, tax collecting, and other revenues. In the past, Phyllis Marshall served as the assistant town administrator for the town of Belmont and as the treasurer-collector in Watertown. This is the first hired town treasurer we've had since town meeting voted to change the role from an elected position.
Also, Arlington's Department of Planning and Community Development is welcoming Kelly Linema to its lineup. Linema is now the department's new senior planner. Among other duties, she'll be taking part in advancing the Mill Brook Corridor study and the Historic Survey Master Plan. Town officials say she will also conduct research in areas such as land use, housing, and economic development. Ms. Linema previously helped in advancing the Faneuil Hall Marketplace Master Plan. She received her master's degree in urban planning from Harvard University and a bachelor's degree in sociology from Tufts University.
Well, it's great to welcome 2 new people to town. It's an exciting time to be in town, as I'm sure that they have
absolutely
seen.
There's a lot to be done, with a whole cultural district just sort of coming into effect, and everything else we're planning as far as the master plan. And I think a few of our town officials have been a little overworked, and I'm sure they're welcoming a little less burden.
Right. These are some replacements as well. So,
yes.
And good luck to those who have left us. All right. Well, coming up after the break on Arlington Public News, bus drivers hope to make better time with faster lanes. Local artists say, leave the colors to us. We'll show you how they celebrate the bus rapid transit pilot.
Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Frankenfest 200 is here. As we usher in All Hallows Eve, ACMI is looking for a few good filmmakers. No experience required. Are you the next Ed Wood or Boris Karloff? We'll show you how you can be when we come back.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Walking school buses traveled through Arlington's neighborhoods recently. Children from Stratton Elementary School, along with parents, local officials, and the school's lion mascot, helped form this walking school bus, just one of several elementary schools in town participating in the National Walk to School Day on October 10th. The national program serves as a connection between school, state, and local leaders to provide safe pathways for children to walk or bicycle to school. Noting that it gets children outdoors is good exercise and helps build the community. Parent leaders helped organize the walking buses, where kids also carried signs saying, "Walking reduces carbon emissions." Most elementary schools in Arlington are within walking distance, and all of them participate in the Safe Routes to Schools program.
Earlier in this newscast, we told you about the long-awaited bus priority pilot kicking off in Arlington to create a more efficient transit system. The Arlington Commission on Arts and Culture is also creating a unique way to get to your destination. As Jeff Barnes reports, the celebration begins before you ever board the bus.
Taking the bus to work or run errands can become a typical journey into the humdrum over time. But passengers will find nothing ordinary at 5 bus shelters along Massachusetts Avenue. Arlington's Commission on Arts and Culture and the MBTA are marking the new bus rapid transit pilot by transforming these ordinary shelters into colorful and imaginative works of art.
They wanted to decorate the bus shelters so that people would notice something was going on and come out and take part in the pilot and be aware of what was happening.
Arlingtonian Johnny Lapham is one of 5 artists commissioned to line the streets with color. You'll find his creation between Linwood Street and Wyman Terrace, a celebration of festive dots. Lots of dots, large, small, translucent. Johnny's idea of a street party.
You know, a lot of people say, "I love it, I love what you're doing," and what's really thrilling to me is, 1 out of 4 people actually say thank you.
Johnny says his vibrant display was born from his colorful creation just down the block, where he painted the facade of the Arlington service station. He says those dots and his palette of magentas, yellows, and greens simply followed him to this shelter.
So I just transformed those dots into these dots, and they became multicolored target paintings. So the dots are getting more and more interesting, and the party is in the bus shelter where everything comes completely alive.
Other shelters include one between Magnolia and Thorndike, celebrating travel and movement through the changing of the seasons, and another interactive shelter at Lockland Street, encouraging bus riders to add a dot to the shelter, marking streets where they live, visit, or work. Artists taking part of this very colorful Mass Avenue display say their aim, of course, is to welcome the new bus rapid transit pilot to this area and to send a clear signal to all bus passengers that getting there is indeed half the fun.
I am thrilled to be a part of it, and especially thrilled because I live just half a block down the street, right around the corner. So this is my bus shelter, and so I get to decorate my own bus shelter and get a lot of help doing it.
And when passengers leave for parts unknown, the party will still be going on when they return. Jeff Barnes, Arlington Public News.
Makes you kind of want to ride the bus there and wait out at the depot beforehand too. Pretty neat. Well, town leaders thank the Boston-based Bar Foundation, a group dedicated to elevating the arts and creative expression, for its generosity in supporting this latest celebration of color along Mass Ave.
Author Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein turns 200 this year. To celebrate, several Arlington businesses and organizations are marking this ghoulish anniversary with some fun events for the family. That includes us. As part of Frankenfest 200 in Arlington, ACMI is currently staging a scary boot camp every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. You can make your own film just in time for Halloween night premiere. Our cameras are already rolling.
Look left and right.
Intense.
Look straight. Sean, look right here. Really intense. And kind of give me a shake, shake, shake. Look straight.
This is ACMI volunteer George Ackerley starring in a story that takes us through the streets, alleys, and graveyards of Arlington. George is hunting for a mysterious treasure, one that takes us on an unforgettable journey. What is that treasure, you ask? You must find out for yourself on Halloween night. If you want to be like George and produce your own version of Psycho, Last House on the Left, or Friday the 13th, come to ACMI's Scary Boot Camp every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. through Halloween. No experience is necessary. If you're interested, just email us at production@acmitv, if you dare.
Well, that certainly looks like a lot of fun there. And on Halloween, you can trick or treat right here at ACMI Studios at 85 Park Ave. From 3 to 5 p.m., we'll be handing out candy. And if you come in costume, you might also get on green screen, which we can put you in any kind of scary movie. How's that for a treat?
You know, that sounds like some really good scary fun.
It certainly does. Well, coming up next in Arlington Public News, as the regular season winds down for the Spy Ponders, this season playoffs are just heating up. We'll take a peek at the playoff picture when we come back.
And Arlington's International Film Festival is just days from now. We talk with the directors of the festival to see what the coming attractions will be coming to this annual treasure right in our own backyard. That and more when we come back.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years that we have been married. We had been looking at a lot of different houses in different places around that area, and when we came by this house, it was green, and I love green. I'm Irish. And so I said, oh, there's our house. I know it. We decided on Meals on Wheels because at my age, I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This time of the year, the foliage is brilliant, the nights are cooler, and the playoffs are on. Here's our APN Sports Wrap with Carlos Abreu from Studio B.
Hello Arlington sports lovers, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Update. The regular season is coming to an end, which means playoffs are right around the corner for some of our teams. Spy Ponders football played their final regular season home game against Reading Memorial. They fought hard until the end, but couldn't come away with a win. The boys will play away against Belmont on Friday, October 19th, before playing Arlington St. Catholic at home on Thanksgiving Day. ACMI will be broadcasting the Thanksgiving Day game live. Don't forget to tune in while the turkey is cooking. Boys soccer have had a great season, most recently taking a win against Woburn on the home pitch.
How to react. It's Francesco.
They've secured a position in the playoffs. They'll be playing away against Lexington and Reading, but will be back home on Tuesday on October 23rd to play Winchester. The girls on the pitch have also had a good season, most recently taking a 5-0 win against Burlington and a 1-1 tie against Woburn.
Reina was looking for another one. Here's Reina with the ball. Reina takes a shot. And a goal!
As the regular season comes to an end, our Spy Ponders faculty and parents have been celebrating the final games of the departing seniors. Here at ACMI, we want to congratulate and thank our seniors for their hard work and their time as Arlington athletes. That's all we have for Sports Update this week, but be sure to keep watching ACMI Sports for more action as we finish off the fall season.
Arlington International's Film Festival is just days away. In its 8th year, it offers a unique opportunity to bring many cultures together through the magic of film. It also allows all of us to see life through the lens of so many talented filmmakers from the world over. APN's arts and entertainment reporter Jamie Joseph talked about this year's coming attractions with the festival founder and executive director at the Capitol Theater. They told Jamie everyone rises when a diverse selection of award-winning films lights up the silver screen.
And we are very true to that mission. This year we'll be focusing on social issues such as refugee situations around the world. We're focusing also on political issues of Middle America and why they are supporting Trump and are trying to understand basically how they are coming to this decision. And we're also definitely a supporter of the arts. So this year, our arts film that we're really happy with is from Australia, and it is about the journey of Felicity Brown, a milliner from the Outback, to Fashion Week in New York City. Ooh. So there are amazing films from all over the world, animation, narrative, documentary, and it's a real wonderful, wonderful experience.
The Arlington International Film Festival runs from November 1st to the 4th. For more on this year's lineup of films or ticket information, just click on CapitolTheaterUSA.com and click Movies.
You can check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Arlington Public.
And if you have any news tips for us, be sure to email us at news@acmi.tv or stop on down the studio at 85 Park Ave. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brenda Mahoney.
And I'm Carla Dorado. We leave you with a pair of imposing figures currently haunting our grounds here at ACMI. We hope they're here to usher in the Halloween celebration, and frankly, no one has the guts to confront them and ask them to politely leave. Thanks for joining us.